What if everything you thought you knew about mental health was only half the story? I probably still only know half the story, and I've learned a lot over the last 3 years. Today, in our final part with Carly Taylor, we dive into the fascinating connection between physical and mental health, and exploring how our lifestyle choices impact our overall well-being. Carly shares groundbreaking, I think that's how you say it, insights about mitochondrial health and genetic predispositions, while offering practical wisdom for personal growth. This episode concludes with powerful takeaways about self-awareness and embracing life challenges that you won't want to miss. The word often about choices comes into play as well with a lot of my guests, but today we do talk about choices quite a lot. Anyway, here we go. Here's Carly for the final part. It's been a great week with this family, and hopefully we can make it a bit of a regular appearance. We have a good chat. Anyway, here's Carly for the final part. Make sure you go back and listen to all the other episodes for it to all make sense, and subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. Don't forget to go and follow us on all the other social media platforms. We also do split part episodes. Carly's 3 parts, Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Spotify and Apple too. Anyway, here you go. Enjoy and have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week after Carly. I think it's fascinating if we can incorporate that into the education system, the government, and filter it down. Maybe children who don't need to be on Ritalin don't need to be on Ritalin. We can look at the cellular level stuff and put what we need into their bodies better. And there might be some children who benefit from Ritalin, at least they're benefiting from it. But I think there's a large proportion, based on what you said before, where we're overdiagnosing. Maybe a lot of these children don't need to be on it. And like you said before, the side effects to all of these things, we're fixing one problem but creating 10 others. I don't know the answer to that question. And I'm probably not willing to go down that route because I don't want to get shouted at.
I must say, but with Oscar in his recovery, that he had a lot of deficiencies just because his body had taken such a toll on his body. So we went to an integrative doctor. So if anybody is concerned about their child having ADHD and they perhaps want to go into a different level, go and see an integrative doctor.
I'm going to write that down.
Because they will do, and best to go to someone who maybe specialises with children, but they will do the blood tests and all these gene testing that your GP isn't trained in. This is what they're trained in. You do have to pay a bit more for it, but it's worth it. Because my daughter, my 19-year-old daughter, and Paul have a gene where they are susceptible to obesity and diabetes. Now, you wouldn't know that with Paul, would you? Because he's so fit. But we've said to our daughter, you have an intolerance to refined carbohydrates. And using that language has really been helpful. Rather than saying, just go on a low-carb diet, we've actually said you have an intolerance, which is true because anybody that's diabetic has an intolerance to carbohydrates. So you cut down on those carbohydrates, it's going to help her manage that. So
and prevent going down that road.
Because just because you've got the gene doesn't mean you're going to get diabetes. We know that you can switch them on and turn them up or turn them down through lifestyle. So this goes back to choices.
And that's the same with high blood pressure, isn't it? Just because my mother and father have high blood pressure doesn't mean I'm prone to be. If I probably do have the gene expression to go down that road, but if I'm preparing myself in a better way earlier on in life, choices and lifestyle, doesn't mean I'm going to have high blood pressure, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I'm glad you said that because I'm trying to tell my mother that.
You're doomed, she's saying.
She'll shout at me now that I've asked you that question. But I've said that to her. She was on high blood pressure. Oh, she went on statins. That's right. And I said to her, I don't think it's a good idea. I can say this to my mother because it's my mother, right? So I'm not saying it to everybody else because I don't want to get into trouble. But my mother was on it. And this was actually quite interesting because I went through some of the science with her and I said, look, I think there's side effects to this a lot. I think you're fixing one problem. You're punishing the heart for a crime it's not committing. It's that probably the deficiencies that you've got inside the body, that the foods that you're putting in, it's irritating. It's causing that. It's like a fixed pipe. and it's clamping down because it's irritated, but the heart's still pumping out the same amount of blood, but because the pipes clamp down, it becomes high pressured. So I said, what we need to look at is the route to release that. But the statins are slowing the heart down. Well, if you keep slowing the heart down, what's the definition of that? Well, it's death. So let's look at other things. So she went back to the doctor, and based on what I said, and she said it was supposed to be a checkup based on the response to the statins. And she said, well, I've stopped taking. And she said, well, why have you come to the appointment? She said, well, I just wanted to talk about it because I was speaking to my son, and she's probably thinking, oh, God, someone's gone off the other way. And she said, well, I've gone off it. And the doctor's response was, so you've decided to eat whole foods or healthy foods. And I said, well, there you go then. Why wasn't that presented to you first?
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
the response to her was, because, Joe, you're going to the healthy lifestyle. Well, duh.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I said, Mum, isn't that a telling sign? Isn't that a sign? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, so in your house then, is the word ultra-processed foods like a, ooh, don't bring that into my house type of thing? Because you and Paul, with what you do, I mean, maybe it is, I don't know.
We talk a lot about the evils of ultra-processed foods, and our kids have drummed this into our kids. Yeah. And so they are very, very aware of, but we have an 80-20 approach. So this isn't about you are not to eat any ultra-processed foods, because let's face it, when you eat chocolate or have cake, it's really good. So
good.
Yeah, so our rule is 80% is real whole foods, 20% is your treat food. So, but you want to choose that treat really wisely. So you want to really enjoy that treat. So if you've got like 3 treats that you really love, you've got to choose just one. Which one of those is sacrosanct? And choose the best quality, and when you eat it, just really, really enjoy it. So that's our kind of rule. Now, look, sometimes depending on what's happening, it's not 80-20,
70-30.
Yeah. But so this isn't about, none of this stuff is about being a perfect person.
No.
Okay, it's just a guide, and it just, and if you go off path, you just get back on path. So so that's worked well for our kids. They've been completely brainwashed.
Yeah, I'm on that journey, and I feel like I'm on that journey with my children too, because I can see the addictiveness when he smells sugar. He's like a pigeon.
Yeah.
Like, when we go to a birthday party, he runs to the basketball. They give him lollies, and I'm like, I want. Fiona looks at me, and goes, "Don't go there, don't go there." But like to the coach, I'm like, you know, sugar doesn't give him energy in the way you think they're giving you energy. It's not the production of ATP in a good, healthy way. It's the dopamine hit. Sugar for you, is it root of all evil?
Look, I'm lucky that I don't have a massively sweet tooth. I'm one of these weird, so does Paul, but shouldn't really say that. It's like
divorce.
Every now and then I'll like open the drawer and there'll like be a Snickers or something there, and I'll go, what?
Yeah.
Maltesers. Or I'm very lucky in that I really like dark chocolate. Like I'll eat.
That's good for you though.
I know, but people will be like, ew. Like it's but that I don't
brain
know.
Food.
If you put a piece of cheesecake down in front of me, I will probably won't eat the whole thing, but I will definitely enjoy some of it. So yeah, but I wouldn't eat like lollies or that sort of stuff. I'm just not. I don't enjoy it.
So there's not a sneaky movie night here and there with the lollies and a bit of chocolate now for you?
No, I don't like it. I'm just lucky that I don't like it. Not me.
Not lucky. I think you've probably worked on it at a certain point, maybe.
Yeah, maybe my body's just adjusted, and yeah.
Do you ever? Because my partner like rolls her eyes when I'm about to go. She was like at the basketball. She went, "Don't go science on them. They don't want to hear it." Because all the kids are about to lollies, and I'm about to turn around and say, "Well, there's your mind racing problems." She's like, "Don't do it, Andy. Don't do it." She rolls it. I'm like, yeah, but isn't it better to talk to them and teach them? No, it's not.
No, just give them the snake.
And so we say to him, one, you get one, that's it. And he grabs out 3, put them back. Do you ever talk about, and this is one regret I didn't do with Paul, because he had to go to soccer, I think, that Sunday morning, but do you ever go to like the mitochondrial level with your children? Do you ever bore them at that type of level? And I know that's Paul's probably more, I don't know if it is, but do you ever go to that level with your children?
Yes, we do.
Oh, I love it. God, we should be ending this soon. We're going to keep going. It's fine.
But particularly with Oscar, so we believe post Cushing's that his mitochondria had just taken a beating, and so he was doing a lot of, because we know that mitochondria is their energy, of our bodies. Every cell needs a good healthy mitochondria. It's like a mouse spinning on the wheel. We want to keep that mouse energized.
I'm glad you said that. I was about to ask you to dissect it in a basic level for the viewers, so we've got a starting point. Yeah,
we've got to look after our mitochondria, and I think like a sluggish mitochondria level is where you're going to feel sluggish. But Oscar, because he had the muscle weakness and energy levels, we believed it was mitochondria. We'd taken into an I can't even pronounce that word, an integrative doctor. And so he was supplementing a lot, but also red light therapy. So we actually bought a red light panel, and that has been shown to get into the mitochondria and really help. So he was doing that every single day. He still does it. He'll still lie there for 20 minutes.
So you've seen the benefits of red light on the mitochondria itself then?
Yes, for him, I fully believe that his speed of recovery, that red light was definitely a big part of that, And wow. Paul recently, as you know, has had open heart surgery, so he was doing red light as soon as he got home. Helped with wound healing, and helped with also his energy levels and everything. So it's been a great asset in our house. I don't do it as much. I do a lot of sauna. You just can't do everything, but the only one in our house that probably hasn't done it is Kira, our daughter.
Yeah, wow. Because any normal person after heart surgery that Paul had were probably still recovering, but how quickly was he back up? And he's in New Zealand doing speeches and whatnot. He's up and about pretty much straight away, wasn't he?
He was. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay.
That's all right. I don't think his surgeon will be listening. He was back presenting 17 days post surgery.
Heart surgery. This is not like muscle leg surgery.
This is the zip down the chest. Yeah. Look,
I've seen it. Yeah.
He did it. He went to Newcastle. He got on a plane, went to Newcastle, and did a presentation. He did it in bits. So he got there, got a hotel room, had a sleep. So he wasn't gung ho about it, but he did it. But Paul is not normal.
He's brilliant. No, I think that's
in a good way.
That's where I think you're wrong. You know why? I think that's the baseline our humans used to live at.
Yeah.
And we've just gone down massively with it.
I think with Paul, he's just so action focused. He's like, what can I control here? I'm going to take I'm going to take charge of my recovery. So it wasn't just listening to doctor. I mean, I remember I said to him, can you help me make the bed? And he's going, I'm not supposed to make the bed until 10 weeks post-surgery.
You're going on a flight to Newcastle in New Zealand. Of course you can do it.
Yes, you can make a bed. He's back at the gym. We do CrossFit, but he will be there. He's got his heart monitor. He has his phone up. He won't go over 150, and if he does, he'll stop. He's being so measured. He's gone and seen a exercise cardiac rehab specialist. So he's doing everything by his book, but it's a sensible. It's just not everybody else's book. But he's doing it in a very sensible way. So it's pretty amazing.
Just back to the mitochondria very quick, because we'll come to the end. I really want my viewers to get something, because we've never ever discussed mitochondria on the podcast at all. It's never really been a perfect opportunity, but with you guys, it really is. On a basic level, then. You've explained what mitochondria is, the battery point of our cells. I think we have something like 37 trillion cells, give or take, and around 110 trillion mitochondria, which I think around 10% of our body weight, give or take. Again, I read. Again, I could be wrong, so I don't know on that one. But give us the basic function of a mitochondria, and how can an everyday person just look after it on a basic level, so they can understand the difference of what we've been talking about. if that makes sense.
Look, to be honest, I'm not an expert on mitochondria, but I will tell you what I know. And I think it's good to be aware that we are made up of these cells, and this mitochondria has a huge responsibility to keep us optimal.
Yeah.
And so what you do every single day is going to affect your energy. Yeah. So exercising every day, eating whole foods, having that 80-20 approach, getting good sleep, cold water is going to help. Even just a cold shower. You don't have to do a cold water.
So glad you said that. That's why I do cold water.
Yeah, and it actually shows that 14 degrees is actually fine. It doesn't need to be, like 2 degrees, like the hardcore Wim Hof people.
And the time is also either you can do between 30 seconds and 3 minutes would still be optimal as well.
Yeah. So I think on a top line level, keeping your body healthy, being consistent with those fundamentals is going to help you with mitochondrial function. Now, if you've got a condition that is affecting your mitochondria, that's a different story.
Yeah.
You then have to work out all the things that you can do and put everything into that. But for the rest of us, it's really focusing on those fundamentals consistently every single day.
Yeah. And I think if we focus on that mitochondrial level, we can actually change the trajectory of even just children's lives being in school as well, and changing all this inability to focus, this inability to retain information, this inability to sit and enjoy and being present rather than, I don't know. Children will always be children. I don't have a problem with that, but I just see a lot of inability to, I don't know.
I think it really is about, if you, rather than just looking at your child or anyone's symptoms, what is happening in their life, in their environment, in their lifestyle that is contributing to this. Because if you don't do that, you're ignoring something that you could change quite easily.
Yeah, agree. Yeah. All right, let's come to the end then. If there's anything anyone can relate to your journey and the topics that we've covered today, I know it's pretty broad. What's some general advice you could give to the viewers today to help them move forward or continue on their path of leading their own way?
I think self-awareness is really important, to have that awareness of who you are, why you may think the way you think, just as important information to be able to change, not to dwell on it or be a victim of it.
Yeah.
Having that awareness, using your attention as an asset, being aware of where your attention is in any moment and taking control over that. Use your attention as a strategy to get you on that path that you want to be on, and then taking action aligned with your values, aligned with what's important to you. And when you come to that crossroad of having to choose, just create that bit of space, pause, take a deep breath and go, which direction do I want to go in? Do I want to choose the comfortable, easy direction, or do I want to choose the harder direction, which I know is going to move me forward in my life long term?
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. If there's anything, I didn't prepare you with this one, but if there's anything that you think we've missed that is super important to share, is there something that you think we should share that we've not spoke about today?
We've talked about quite a lot, haven't we?
We have. Well, and we've gone over, to be fair. I don't have to do this into 3 parts, I think. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which is fine. I'm experimenting with that at the moment. So we'll split it into 3 parts. It was fascinating. I didn't want to cut it short. So it was definitely worth it. No, we've covered everything. That's okay. Future plans for yourself, Carly, because we know it's not an end journey, as you mentioned before. It's an ongoing journey. And I want the viewers to see that you're not just reached your pinnacle. It's ongoing. Where's life going to take you?
It's just going to be ongoing. So I'm going to finish my Masters of Counselling this year. So I've been a mature age student. So I'll be 56 when I finish it. So
56? How old are you now?
I'm 55.
No, you're not. There's no way.
Yeah, I am. I started this Masters, I think, when I was 51. So it's taken me a few years to do
Paul?
it. So he's younger than me. It's 53.
Oh, I was going to say 45.
No, not that young.
Well, I'm surprised. Sorry for asking your age on air, but it's all out now. I don't regret it, because look how amazing you look. And the things you're doing, obviously, work, and that's a key
I'm
point.
at 55. I am quite proud of this, that I'm stronger, fitter than I've ever been in my life.
There you go.
And that is from consistency, like every single day. So I'm going to finish my master's. I'm going to keep on this path of exercising every day, looking after my health. I'm going to dive deeper into Marita's work because I just love it. And at the moment, it's very new here. It's mainly been based in Japan, but I've got contacts in Japan now that want to bring it to the West because it is so valuable for so many people. So that's my plan over the years, is to immerse myself in Marita therapy.
Beautiful. Sorry about that. My doorbell rang as you were talking about that. So that never happens.
Telling you there's someone at the door.
Yeah, and she barks when she hears a noise. I told you. I'll cut that out somehow. Beautiful. I love that, and I'd love to know more about what you. Your journey on the Marita journey. I'd love to know a little bit more. So maybe we should reconnect later this year or early next year on the podcast. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Great. So, last question. Purpose. And we did briefly discuss it being too big or too small, but it usually gets pretty clear in the episode. But if you could put it into a simple line, whether small or big, what is your purpose?
My purpose, I guess, through work is to help people live fully, even when these strong, intense emotions come up. So to be able to embrace life and whatever it throws at you, I think that's my purpose.
Beautiful. What a great ending, Carly. Thank you so much for your time today. It was absolutely fantastic, very insightful. I know if nobody else is listening, I got a lot out from it, but I know loads of people will be able to take stuff away from.
Thank you so much for having me, and I enjoyed the chat. So hopefully your listeners will enjoy the chat as well, but I really enjoyed it. So inward focus.
There you go. Yeah,
that's all that matters.
I learned a lot today as well. It's a great little secrets, but it's my diary that I can take away for myself, and it's brilliant, and I love it. So thank you for sharing, and you're part of the Low Leading Our Own Way family now, you and Paul. So thank you for what you guys do. You stuck with me as a friend forever, I'm afraid, and people who know me will be like, "Yep, you really are. Be careful."
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Oh, good. We'll have to meet up and have a coffee or dinner sometime. It'd be amazing to meet you guys in person. But thank you guys for what you do as a family as well. It's amazing. And thanks for joining me on my journey as well. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, good. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Keep leading your own way. To everybody else who is listening, all the information regarding Carl and Paul, if you've missed Paul's episode, please go back and listen to that too. But all the information, go and follow Carly online, listen to the podcast, the Paul Taylor podcast, but it's Carly as well on a Monday with Mojo Mondays.
Come and listen to my Mojo Mondays.
Absolutely. I do. And like you say, it's easy because it's 7 minutes as well, so it's perfect.
Yeah,
not like my long ones. Thank you very much, everybody else. Have a great weekend. Keep leading your own way and come back next week for another amazing guest. Take care for now. Speak to you then. Thanks for listening and watching Leading Our Own Way. So we can stay together forever and share more incredible journeys, please subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss next week's episode and what that amazing guest has to offer to the world. Please support Leading Our Own Way, and we'll get you on next week's episode.